Guys, welcome back to the Homestead Homeschool. I've got my seed box here and some potatoes, and we are heading down to the garden to plant some potatoes and possibly some other seeds. Got all my seedlings out here on the porch. I'm letting them get acclimated to being outside a little bit, kind of hardening them off because I was looking at my extended forecast. Although the extended forecast is not showing anything in the next 2 weeks. Actually, I pulled up the monthly forecast, and it's not showing any frost dates in the next month. I can go ahead and sow some seeds. There is a risk with that though, because our frost date here, I think our last frost date is like the 15th or the 19th of April, something like that. Although I may go ahead and sow some stuff. Something that I have plenty of seeds of that I don't mind if the frost did come and kill them. I could just re-sow more. So I'm probably going to go ahead and do that. My potatoes, now they're fine to go ahead and sow now. They're going to have a thick layer of mulch on them, which we use straw or our hay. So this is going to be a potato bed. I'm probably going to do that end over there in potatoes. We're still eating potatoes that we grew last year. We canned, golly, 20-some quarts of potatoes, and then we had 2 big boxes of potatoes that we were just eating off of. We've still got a couple of potatoes left in our boxes and several quarts left, so I'm not sowing a whole lot of potatoes this year. Only got 2 bags. I probably will not succession sow these this year like I did last year. I've got some purple tomatoes, or they're Adirondack blue, and then some Kennebec. So we're gonna get to sowing these. I'm probably just gonna do, if I can fit all these in one bed, I'll do that. If not, I'll find out where I'm gonna put the rest of them. I'm not really sure, but y'all can watch me sow potatoes. I'm gonna tell you what we're doing with ours and what we've done for the past 2 seasons with our potatoes. Is I'll clear all this hay off the top. I'll get down to the soil, and once I get down to the soil here, I'm just going to put a potato down, cover it back up with hay, and then as they grow, I'll put more mulch more of it with hay. I don't actually bury my potatoes down in the ground. I just lay them on top of the soil. I'll tear up the soil a little bit, nestle them down in the soil real good. And then mulch them really well with hay as they grow. Now, if you don't mulch them well, your potatoes will, when it's time to harvest them, they'll have little green spots on them. You can't eat that. That's toxic. So you'll need to cut that off. But anyway, to prevent that, you can just make sure you put lots of mulch on. And it's the easiest way to do potatoes for me. Our first year we buried them in the ground and just digging them all up. Half of them got split by trying to dig them up, and then it's just a lot more work trying to dig them up. This is so super easy. Nestle them on the top of the soil, cover them up with hay. When it's time to harvest, you just pull the soil back, pull your potatoes up. So that's how we do ours. That's a Ruth Stout method for doing potatoes. Basically just mulching everything really heavy. So I'm gonna set y'all up here and let y'all watch me plant potatoes today. You might see some people when they're planting their potatoes, they will take the potato and actually cut it in half. You can do it that way. I've done it that way in the past, and I don't seem to really get that much difference in the harvest from just putting the whole potato in the ground. So we're going to just put the whole potato in the ground. These have actually already started to sprout. I'm going to just nestle it down in there good. Put a little soil around it. I'm not actually like burying them deep. On the packaging, it says to put it 4 to 6 inches in, but the way we're growing with the hay on the top, where we'll just layer that and layer it, you don't really have to bury it. So this is acting as our soil on top. You're going to want to bury these or plant these about 12 to 15 inches apart. So we'll probably do 2 rows up this bed. I'm just putting my sprouts up. And these will be popping up in no time. You actually have enough time in the year here in Zone 7B in North Carolina to get 2 plantings of potatoes, and we actually did 2 plantings last year. Like I said, I don't know that we'll do that this year because we have so many potatoes. Cover these up real good with the hay. So if you don't already have an established garden space, and what we did last year, we didn't have an established garden space, we took a tiller and in the ground, we just tilled the ground up and broke the soil up, got it real good and loose. And then after we did that, we just took the potatoes and laid them on the loose soil and then covered up with hay. We didn't dig down and actually plant the potatoes. We just laid them on top. Potatoes are a really easy thing to grow. You don't need a lot of space to grow a lot of food. We had 2 small potato beds last year. We did a succession planting in the fall, and we got so many potatoes, more than a year's worth of potatoes for our family, probably 2 years worth of potatoes for our family. And it didn't take a lot of space, and they're just super easy. So we'll have quite a few. Well, probably this what I'm planting this year is about half of what I planted last year, so we're still going to be rolling in potatoes, but we need to start eating more potatoes. Although we do eat potatoes quite frequently. I'm going to look through my seeds. I may go ahead and start some cucumbers. I have quite a few cucumber seeds. And although it's a gamble right now, planting those before the frost date, I may go ahead and do that anyway, just to see. If something happens with them, it's no big deal. I'll just sow more after the frost date has passed. So these are the purple ones. The actual plant looks like it's purple. The shoots coming off of it are purple. They're actually called blue, but they look more purple in color than blue. Potatoes are one of my favorite things to grow because I love to eat potatoes, and I love digging potatoes up. It's not necessarily the planting and the growing part, but when it comes time to dig them up, it's kind of like a treasure hunt. I really enjoy it. And it's one thing I've been pretty successful at growing in the past. We've got one bed planted. As you can see, I just put them on top of the soil and then covered them up with the hay. We'll head over here and get this one planted. Finish up the bag of blue ones here. This worked out perfect. I'll be able to fit 4 potatoes right here, and that's all I've got left. This one's rotten and dead, so we'll just toss it in the compost. This is going to be perfect. You don't want to put too much hay on when you're first starting them. They need to be able to find the sunlight when they come up. So put too much. I'm gonna move some of this over here around my garlic. I don't want it too thick. Now, once they pop up and they can get to the sun, you can put it as thick as you want it. Actually, the thicker the better. You're gonna protect those potatoes from the sunlight. All right, so got all those planted. I'm gonna go over here and show you how I keep up with what I've planted where in my garden. Over here in my little garden shed, I keep a layout of my garden on a clipboard. And every time I plant something, I come over here, I pull my little clipboard down, sit down here at the table, and I write down what I've planted, where I've planted it. So this is just a map of my garden. There's my gate where I come in, and we just planted potatoes in this bed. Grayson wrote kale there. There's no kale planted in that bed, but he wrote kale there. But this is where I write everything that I planted. Because it's really easy in a space this large to forget where you've sown stuff. So that helps me keep up with where things are. So, potatoes and blue potatoes. Alrighty, and it's starting to rain. I brought my other seeds out here and I was gonna try to sow some other stuff, like maybe some cucumbers or something. I don't know if I'm gonna get that done now or not. Alright. I'll show you also how I store my seeds. I just recently started storing them this way. I had them all in a Ziploc bag. But this is what I use. It is and I got all these cool stickers, all these cool gardening stickers that I put on here. I love stickers. But I got this box from Hobby Lobby. You can find them at craft stores. Michael's carries them. I think they were cheaper at Hobby Lobby. I think I paid $20 for this one. But sometimes Michael's will have theirs on sale for the same price. And it's just a photo storage container that I've labeled. I just took my labeler out and labeled what all I have in each. And I store all my seeds in here. It's a waterproof way of storing your seeds, which is great when you're down in the garden, like today when it started raining. I've got my seeds out here. I don't have to worry about them getting damp or wet or anything. Just keeps them all contained in an area. And you want to store your seeds in a cool, dark place. You don't want to leave your seeds outdoors. See, I mean, like I wouldn't leave my seeds over there in my garden shed or leave them outside in the heat or anything because the heat can damage them. But seeds will last many, many years if you store them in a cool, dark area. You can plant seeds for years and years to come. I'm still planting seeds from 5 years ago. And as long as they're stored properly, you may have a little bit of decrease in your germination rate, but for the most part, as long as they're stored in a cool, dark area, you can use the same seeds for many years. So I guess I'm going to, as long as the rain doesn't get any worse than it is right now, I'm going to flip through here and try to find some seeds to plant. Decide what I'm going to early sow. What I've got a lot of, I'll go ahead and early sow. I'm gonna go ahead and sow quite a few things. These are all seeds that I have plenty of, so if they don't make it and there is another frost, then I'm not out of nothing but a seed. If they do make it and we don't have any more frost for the year, then I'll just be ahead on harvesting some things. So I'm gonna sow some cucumbers, some golden sweet cucumbers, some Armenian yard-long cucumbers, some zinnias, some nasturtiums, some chamomile, and some Kentucky Wonder pole beans. All right, so the way I'm planting this year is I'm putting some compost down. I did not get to top my beds with compost, so I'm just getting a bucket and I'm putting compost in the actual holes that I'm putting the seeds in, and then cover them with compost. You got some eggs. You want to show them what you found in the chicken coop?
Yeah.
No, you show them your eggs while I plant these plants, okay?
Here's a little fluff top egg.
And tell them who Fluff Top is.
Fluff top is a white chicken. What's the name of those chickens?
She's a Polish chicken.
Fluff top is a Polish chicken. She was this big of an egg. And here is the. You think the egg be this size for a normal sized chicken. But there's one chicken, it was the biggest egg. I mean, it's
We have a couple chickens that lay really big eggs, don't they?
It's gotta hurt.
The size of duck eggs, aren't they?
Yeah, they're bigger than the size of a duck egg. They're bigger than a duck egg. I know these hurt coming out. Look at this egg. And then compared to this egg. Look how small it is.
Now, the small egg is laid by the Polish, right?
Yep. The small egg, this egg is laid by the Polish chicken. And I don't know how long this has been sitting out there.
Where'd you find it at?
Under a pallet.
Okay, well, we'll have to do the float test.
What's that?
Yeah, we'll talk to them about the float test, too. So if you've got an egg and you don't know how old the egg is,
You crack it in a bowl and you see if it's good or not. And if it's not, you throw it away.
that's right, we do that too. Watch out so they can see me, babe. So another way to test and see if you've got an egg and you wanna try to eat it, you're not sure how old it is, you found it somewhere, like he found that one laying back behind our coop.
No.
Oh.
Under a pallet.
Under a pallet in the coop?
Yeah.
So he doesn't know how long it's been there. We can take like a bowl of water or a glass of water and fill it up and place the egg down in it. And if it sinks to the bottom, it's a good egg. If it floats to the top, it's no longer good. You need to toss it. So that's how you can test and see if the eggs are still good or not.
I thought you cracked
And
it.
I also, now if it's good and I'm going to eat it, I'll take a separate bowl before whatever I'm cooking. Like say I'm mixing up a cake, I don't want to crack my egg directly into the cake mix. I'm going to crack my egg in a separate bowl and look at it, make sure it's okay before I dump it into the cake mix, so you don't ruin whatever it is you're cooking. Right?
Yep.
Okay.
I thought you cracked the egg and not put it in water.
No, you test it in water and make sure it's okay.
Can I help Mama?
So these need to be about 3 inches apart. So 3 inches about this long. Okay, where are you going to plant them? We're going to plant them right here where I put that compost down. On the other side of this. All right, this is going to wrap up our video for the day, I believe. I'm really anxious to get some things planted in the garden, although I'm willing to take this gamble. We're not outside our frost date range, but we're not showing any more frost on the monthly forecast that I've looked at. So we'll see if we get any more frost in the next few weeks. And if not, I'll be ahead on my harvesting. I thank y'all for joining me today. I hope y'all come back, and I'll see y'all on the next video. Bye. You tell them bye, Grayson?
Bye.
Bye, y'all.